Dear friends of Dhamma, a great global spiritual deed is organized by Sadana Social Development Foundation in Sri Lanka to heal the world and bestow blessings upon humanity. Indeed, all of you, irrespective of your race and creed, can join this event. We are drawing near to the date of this year's Satyakriya or spiritual act of truth, which is scheduled to be on next Wednesday, January 15th, 2014 at 10 past 9 pm. That is according to Sri Lanka time. As many of you are aware, this is done with the contribution of many people around the planet. In Sri Lanka, where this concept originated, hundreds of thousands of devotees join in this great meritorious deed. Ensuring the protection of humanity, we perform the act with the sole aim of mitigating various catastrophes heading to the world. We do it with a heart as big as the world because our care is for the whole world. In a religious and spiritual point of view, it's a great attitude. Why did we launch this campaign at this point of time, causing untold misery in human society? Many social, environmental and international problems increasingly began to claim human lives. Many righteous people around the world have launched various movements to alleviate human suffering. While supporting those well-intentioned programs, the Spiritual Studies and Research Division of Sadana Social Development Foundation ventured into organizing an annual global campaign to consolidate mental power of many humans of the world in a single moment to bestow blessings on mankind and all beings. Although it is impossible to measure the results of previous satyakriyas by means of some instrument, we have seen how we could dampen the ill effects of various threats lurking in the world. One might ask that everything is impermanent and how can we prevent calamities in the world? True, everything is impermanent, but by teaching so, Buddha did not expect us to resort into passivity. Bodhisattva, that is Buddha to be, and Buddha himself, and many great followers of the Buddha set glaring examples of protecting oneself and others by employing skillful means of behavior. If we are awake, we can mitigate the impact of many disasters, and man-made catastrophes can even be prevented. If you are skeptical of power of your mind, just think. Who is the creator of amazing things like computers, aeroplanes and submarines? That is the human mind. Rockets, satellites, etc. were made by human mind. Therefore, human mind is really more powerful than its byproducts. But today, unfortunately, human mind has forgotten his rich legacy and has become a slave of his own productions. To a certain extent, even Mother Nature can be controlled by human mind, because mind and matter is deeply interconnected and interdependent. We should learn how to manipulate our deeds, words and thoughts. This is the foundation for this spiritual act of truth. You can contribute to this deed from wherever you are in the world, and the deed will be conducted for 10 minutes starting from 10 past 9 on next Wednesday, January 15th, 2014, Sri Lanka time. So, dear friends, what is the procedure? In this particular time, you have to recall a meritorious deed you have done in the past, or an instance you refrain from some evil through the great strength and faith of your mind. But just reflecting on the incident would not be sufficient. You have to arouse that state of mind you had at the moment you performed this deed. You can revisit a deed like donating something wholeheartedly or helping somebody, but you should be well aware of its underlying intentions associated with the deed. If you successfully observe 5 precepts, it qualifies for this deed to be pondered upon. But if you have a semblance of doubt and think whether I breached the first one by killing some living being in some way, or whether I uttered a lie in some way, such a deed is not suitable for Satyakriya, because it stirs your mind and hinders arousal of spiritual energy. So, instead of taking the whole set of 5 precepts, you can choose one which you are confident of. Again, if you are not sure whether you kept up to the precept for whole life, think of an year or a month or even a week you undoubtedly kept with the vow. Whatever you can consider sincerely that is really worth for this Satyakriya. You have to sort out such a deed which does not cast the shadow of doubt on your mind. For the success of this type of spiritual act of truth or Satyakriya, what really matters is not the superficial size of the meritorious deed. What really matters is whether it is a true, authentic deed. Well in advance, you have to decide such a deed to be pondered upon. By this particular time, if the circumstances permit, be seated on the floor and calm down your mind. If possible, extend love or loving kindness or metta to the whole world for a while. You do not necessarily be a meditator for the participation. At the right time, reflect on the chosen deed and think thus: it is true that I performed this deed on such and such a day, by the power of this truth, by the might of this truth. May various catastrophes befall the world be mitigated. May lives be protected. May humaneness prevail in the world. Be in this determination for a few minutes. According to Sri Lanka time, we have agreed to perform it at 10 past 9 p.m. on Wednesday, January 15th, 2014. But you have to calculate your own time according to your position of the planet if you live outside Sri Lanka. Using an analogy, I would like to explain. If we try to extinguish a fire by putting water drop by drop, that would not work, because water would be evaporated due to the intense heat of the fire. But if we collect all those droplets and pour into the fire as a cascade, even a raging fire can be put out. This is the theory behind this Satyakriya. Sadana Social Development Foundation has spearheaded to consolidate the mental power of many compassionate people to heal the world in a one single moment through this noble event. This invitation is for all of you, irrespective of your race and creed, because compassion is common to all mainstream religions. For the dignity of humanity, we invite you to mingle your spiritual power to make a radical change in the world. This voice is from our Venerable Matthumagala Chandananda Thero, and I am the Buddhist chaplain of University of Alberta in Canada. I adapted the talk of Most Venerable Kukulpane Sudasi Thero with his kind permission. Thank you very much. May you be well, happy and peaceful.